तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। भूतैर्महद्भिर्यया पुरोहितो निर्मायशेते यदमुषु पुरुषा भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडशोऽशतात्मका सोऽलङ्कृशिष्ट भगवान् वचांसि मे। श्रीकृष्ण शरणं शरणागतं कथा अमृतं सरतपीपतं भक्ति वेदांत मार्ग पंथनं सर्वलोक ऋषिदेव जन्म प्रसन्नं सर्वलोक ऋषिदेव जन्म प्रसन्नं। Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus and Mataji's, welcome to the morning Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. And today is a very auspicious day of Ekadashi, which is very dear to Lord Hari. And those devotees who follow the Ekadashi Vrata, they gain all perfection in life. And this particular Ekadashi today is called Papa Mochana Ekadashi. Papa means sin, and Mochana means which gives liberation from sins. One of the names of Krishna is Aghanirharanaya, meaning that he has the quality of Agha is another word for sin, Nirharanaya, to completely extinguish the sinful reactions of our past deeds, which is actually the reason why we are entangled in this material world. And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is one of the best means on Ekadashi day to become absorbed in the transcendental names, pastimes, and qualities of the Lord. So let's dive into it. So yesterday we looked at the Vest, the translation, text number 22. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerity, study of Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns, and charity, culminates in the transcendental descriptions of the Lord, which is defined in choice poetry. So a number of words are important here. Avichyutto means the infallible Lord, addressing to Krishna. Kavibhir nirupito. The nirupito means that this conclusion has been reached. So alotyam sarvashastrani vicharyasya punah punah. All the scriptures, alotyam means their pages have been turned again and again, read again and again. Vicharyasya punah punah, again and again. A deep thought has been given to all the subject matters present in the Vedas. After that, idam ekam sunishpannam, one conclusion is reached, Dhyayo Narayana Sada, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana, is the only object of meditation. So his description are described as Uttama Shloka. He is glorified in the best of the choicest of poetries, and Gunanu Varnanam, and his qualities are sung and heard. And this is actually the culmination of all spiritual activities. Ultimate result is this Sankirtanam, Shravanam, and Smaranam, thinking about the transcendental descriptions of the transcendental Lord and his transcendental qualities. And this is the purpose for which Nārada Muni is now inspiring Vyasadeva that you write a scripture which exclusively, repeatedly, consistently, regularly describes the transcendental name, form, pastime, and qualities of Krishna. Let's look at text number 23. Nārayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraye. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Aham purātīta bhave bhavinmune dāsyastu kasyāchana vedavādinām nirūpito bālaka eva yoginām sushrūshane pravishi nirvivikshatam. Translation: O Muni, in the last millennium, I was born as the son of certain maidservant engaged in the service of the brāhmaṇas who were following the principles of Vedānta. When they were living together during the 4 months of the rainy season, I was engaged in their personal service. Would anyone like to read the purport?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I read?
Please, Mataji, go ahead.
The wonder of an atmosphere surcharged with devotional service to the Lord is briefly described herein by Sri Nārada Muni. He was the son of the most insignificant parentage. He was not properly educated. Still, because his complete energy was engaged in the service of the Lord, he became an immortal sage. Such is the powerful action of devotional service. The living entities are the marginal energy of the Lord, and therefore they are meant for being properly utilized in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. When this is not done, one situation is called Maya. Therefore, the illusion of Maya is at once dissipated as soon as one's full energy is converted in the service of the Lord instead of in sense enjoyment. From the personal example of Sri Nārada Muni in his previous birth, it is clear that the service of the Lord begins with the service of the Lord's bona fide servants. The Lord says that the service of his servants is greater than his personal service. Service of the devotee is more valuable than the service of the Lord. One should therefore choose a bona fide servant of the Lord, constantly engaged in his service, accept such a servant as the spiritual master, and engage himself in the spiritual master's service. Such a spiritual master is the transparent medium by which to visualize the Lord, who is beyond the conception of the material senses. By service of the bona fide spiritual master, the Lord consents to reveal himself in proportion to the service rendered. Utilization of the human energy in the service of the Lord is the progressive path of salvation. The whole cosmic creation becomes at once identical with the Lord as soon as service in relation with the Lord is rendered under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. The expert spiritual master knows the art of utilizing everything to glorify the Lord, and therefore, under his guidance, the whole world can be turned into the spiritual abode by the divine grace of the Lord's servant. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. This is a wonderful purport describing the qualities of the spiritual master and also the qualities and the qualification of a disciple. A number of points here have been mentioned. We'll try to touch on some of these points. The spiritual master is the transparent medium by which to visualize the Lord. What does it mean? It means that when we have a clear glass, we can see through the glass and see what is outside or inside the glass. So similarly, spiritual master is such a personality because he's absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. His character is 100% pure. There is no dust in the mirror of his heart, and therefore he is very transparent. His only business is glorification of Krishna and no other business. And therefore, the spiritual master has no corners, our Guru Maharaj would say, in his heart. When corners are there in the house, we see the accumulation of dust takes place. But the spiritual master is like a circle. There's no chance of dust accumulating because of his perpetual endeavor to engage in Hari Kirtanam, in glorification of the Lord. Now, some of the devotees, asked the question yesterday: how can we recognize spiritual master when spiritual master comes in our lives? There are various, injunctions given in the scriptures. So, in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, in second chapter, from text number 54, I think, or 55, Arjuna asks this question: Sthita pragnasya ka bhasha stamadhistasya keshava Sthitadhikim prabhaseta kimmasita vijeta kim. That a person who is of steady intelligence, who has reached the transcendence, how does he walk? How does he talk? How does he conduct himself? Meaning, how does he behave? How does he respond to various situations? And how can such a person be defined? And Krishna, till the end of the chapter, then is describing the qualities of that person who is sthita pragnasya, fixed in devotional service of Krishna. So when we read the qualities of the sthita pragna, then those qualities actually, when we try to see in other personalities, and they are very transparent that those qualities are present in them. Our Guru Maharaj used to say that is one sign of seeing a pure devotee through the eyes of the scriptures. How the behavior is on Vyasasan, how the behavior is in person, how the behavior is in public, how the behavior is behind closed doors. Of course, behind closed doors, we may not know. Nonetheless, it is said that one cannot fake Hari Kirtan, meaning that one who is very eager always to speak about Krishna is a clear sign that that personality is fixed. Because what can we speak about, or what do we speak about always? Things we are attached to. If the devotee is not attached to Krishna, then he cannot speak about Krishna. He can put on a show, other show, of wearing dhoti, tilak, nice chadar, and he can make a show of going into pilgrimage. But he cannot talk at length about Krishna in his qualities. So that is one Shiva way Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes, is to recognize a devotee. Now, here also Srila Prabhupada in the paper mentions, as far as the disciple is concerned, by service of bona fide spiritual master, the Lord consents to reveal himself in proportion to the service rendered. So, the proportion to which we surrender to a spiritual master and the proportion to which we render service unto the spiritual master, to that proportion we will have realizations about Krishna in our heart. If we just take initiation as a token or just as a fashion, then we won't make much progress. It's a two-way deal. The spiritual master accepts Sishyasya Santapa Haraka, that I'll take away the misery of the disciple, which is birth, death, old age, and disease. And the disciple accepts to abide by the instructions of the spiritual master. So it is said that Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Kuriya Eka Arana Kariyo Mane Asha, that the words emanating from the lotus mouth of the spiritual master, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Kuriya Eka, meaning that we engrain those words in our chit, in our hearts. And apart from those instructions of the spiritual master, Arana Koriyo Mane Asha, we should not have any other asha, any other desire. The words of spiritual master is our only hope, our only life, and only purpose behind which we should be chalking out the direction of our life. And Srila Prabhupada lived that through. In the first meeting with Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he instructed Prabhupada to preach the sublime message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Western world in English language. And Srila Prabhupada followed that instruction right till his last breath when he was still translating Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So when the instruction is given, with the instructions, the blessings and the mercy also comes. We may think ourselves as not fit enough to follow the instructions. And of course, disciple always should feel that he's incapable. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, my spiritual master thought that I am foolish, number one, and therefore he asked me to chant the holy names of the Lord. In front of spiritual master, we should not be a smart ass, as they say in the Australian slang. We should be foolish in front of spiritual master, meaning that we should not try to impose our intelligence on the spiritual master, thinking that we know better. With spiritual master, we should be questioning with inquisitiveness, however, at the same time, having the humbleness and submissiveness and the desire to follow the instruction. When we look at word to word here, aham, I, pura, formerly, atita bhave, in the previous millennium, abhavam became mune, O Muni, dasyaha, of the maidservant, tu, but kashyashchana, certain, Veda Vedinam, of the followers of Vedānta. So in the history of Nārada Muni, we see that previously Nārada Muni, before he became the child of a maidservant in his past life, the life before, he was a Gandharva, and he was very good in singing, as Gandharvas are. And once in the assembly of demigods, Nārada Muni was singing the glories of the Lord. However, at one point in time, Nārada Muni became allured by the material energy of the Lord. And there were many ladies here admiring the beauty of Nārada Muni, his way of singing, and they were hero worshipping him. And Nārada Muni started singing what we were called as movie songs or Bollywood songs, so to speak. And thus Nārada Muni was cursed that this is not befitting. And in one of the verses in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we see in regards to Nārada Muni is the originator of the system of music, sa re ga ma pa da. So these original sounds, which are musical sounds, sa re ga ma, and so on. And Nārada Muni, in his veena, he plays various combination and melodiously sings the glories of the Lord. But because he was not glorifying the Lord, he was cursed to not know the purpose of being a Gandharva. Our voice may be nice, but it's of no value if such voice is not used in glorification of the Lord. Our intelligence may be sharp, but is of no use if such sharp intelligence is not used to understand Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the scriptures written by Vyasadeva. We may be very beautiful looking, but that beauty is of no use if we don't engage in decorating the Archa Vigraha of Krishna. So Nārada Muni became the son of the maidservant. This is the life before he became the Dasi Putra. So his name was Upabrahmanam. I'm perhaps not pronouncing it correctly. Continuing with word to word. So the Bhakti Vedantist, they had visited during the period of Chaturmasa, Nirapitaha engaged Balaka, boy servant, Eva only, Yoginam of the devotees, Sushrushane, in the service of Pravrishi during the 4 months of the rainy season, Nirvik Shatam, living together. So great opportunity Narad had of saving the Bhakti Vedantists when they were living for a period of 4 months in one place in the house where Narad Muni's mother was a maidservant. Any questions or comments, Prabhu's Matashis?
Prabhu, I have one. You know how you were talking about this pastime of Narad Muni? I was thinking these pastimes, like we know, they are continuously going on. They're just performed again and again in different lokas. They're continuously, Krishna's pastimes are happening. And Narad Muni, so are these pastimes actually enacted to teach us something, or is Narad Muni actually doing that? Because Narad Muni or Indra would be doing the same. They'll be going through the same problems again and again, isn't it, when the pastimes are going on? So are they being enacted for us to learn a lesson? Is that the reason why? But they are at a very exalted position. Am I right in understanding it that way?
Mataji, they are Nitya Siddhas and then they are Nitya Baddhas. So the position of Nitya Siddhas is that they never fall down. And so, but sometimes a Nitya Siddha is used by Krishna to teach lessons to the Nitya Baddhas who are eternally conditioned, so living entities like us. So in that sense, the Nitya Siddhas, or eternally liberated souls, are like Krishna's own dear, very dear devotees. So when they are used to teach other persons, it is said that is for the lesson. However, when Nitya Baddhas, they are, falling down, it is actually their fall down. Whether it be Nitya Siddha or Nitya Baddha, actually, it doesn't matter. The important message we should take is that this issue was there due to which this problem happened. This was the result, and then this was the rectification. And after the rectification, this was the perfection achieved. So in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we see examples of many personalities. The result, the fall down. So even we can say Vyasadeva fell down. Why? Because he described other aspects of knowledge, but not personality of Krishna. But then Vyasadeva redeemed himself by being instructed by Nārada Muni. Then we see Nārada Muni fell down. How? By not glorifying Krishna, but singing some other songs. And then his rectification was he saved the pure devotees, and then due to blessings of those pure devotees, he again was redeemed. We see Gajendra fell down. In his previous life, he was in the Jumna Maharaj. He just stuck to the ritualistic aspects of worshipping, but when his spiritual master came, he did not attend to him. As a result, he became an elephant. But then, through glorification of Krishna, he again redeemed himself. Why this is important? Because we all are fallen, but our nature of fall down is different. And we can relate to any of the fall downs in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and we can see how those devotees redeem themselves. Then that becomes our pathway to also redeem ourselves with certain problems that we may be facing. In terms of Nārada Muni's personality, he is still in Jiva Tattva, but he is empowered by Krishna. Sakirai Prabhu, would you like to confirm that? Sakirai Prabhu is here. Okay, I don't think Prabhu is here. Anyway, I can confirm with some senior devotees and get back. So Brahma.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, yesterday in Bhagavatam class, Bhanu Maharaj mentioned this, that, like Nārada Muni and, Hanuman, they are jivas, but they are Shakti Avshesh avatars. So they are empowered by, Krishna to spread the glories of Krishna. Yeah. Just wanted to say this.
Thank you, Madhivansh Mataji. Yeah, so they are Jiva Tattva, but Shakti Avesha means empowered. So here we see Nārada Muni, and similarly Vyasadeva is a Jiva Tattva, but Shakti Avesha, empowered by Krishna to perform a certain act perfectly. I hope that answers the question, Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Any other questions or comments for discussion? Okay, we'll continue. Te maya ape takila chapaler bhake dante drike kri danake nuvartini chakru kripam yadyapitul yadarshana Shushrushamane Munayolpa Bhashini. Translation: although they were impartial by nature, those followers of the Vedānta blessed me with their causeless mercy. As far as I was concerned, I was self-controlled and had no attachment for sports, even though I was a boy. In addition, I was not naughty and I did not speak more than required. Very difficult to find the qualities in young children. Not naughty, not speaking more than required, and no attachment for sporting activities. Of course, the samskaras are there, which come from previous life. Would anyone like to read the paper?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Pure devotion is as much infectious in a good sense as infectious diseases. A pure devotee is cleared from all kinds of sins.
I think that's a wrong one you're reading.
Yeah. Sorry, Prabhuji, realized. Thank you. The 14th. Sorry, Prabhuji. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, all the Vedas are searching after me. Lord Sri Chaitanya says that in the Vedas, the subject matters are only three, namely to establish the relation of the living beings, living entities with the personality of Godhead, perform the relative duties in devotional service, and thus achieve the ultimate goal, back to Godhead. As such, Vedantavadis, or the followers of the Vedanta, indicate the pure devotees of the personality of Godhead. Such Vedantavadis, or the Bhakti Vedantas, are impartial in distributing the transcendental knowledge of devotional service. To them, no one is enemy or friend. No one is educated or uneducated. No one is especially favorable and no one is unfavorable. The Bhakti Vedantas see that the people in general are wasting time in false sensuous things. Their business is to get the ignorant mass of people to re-establish the lost relationship with the personality of Godhead. By such endeavor, even the most forgotten soul is roused up to the sense of spiritual life, and thus being initiated by the Bhakti Vedantas, the people in general gradually progress on the path of transcendental realization. So the Vedantavadis initiated the boy even before he became self-controlled and was detached from childish sporting, etc. But before the initiation, he, the boy, became more and more advanced in discipline, which is very essential for one who wishes to make progress in the line. In the system of Varnashrama Dharma, which is the beginning of actual human life, small boys after 5 years of age are sent to become brahmachari at the Guru's ashram, where these things are systematically taught to boys, be they king's sons or sons of ordinary citizens. The training was compulsory not only to create good citizens of the state, but also to prepare each boy's future life for spiritual realization. The irresponsible life of sense enjoyment was unknown to the children of the followers of the Varnashram system. The boy was even injected with spiritual acumen before being placed by the father in the womb of the mother. Both the father and the mother were responsible for the boy's success in being liberated from the material bondage. That is the process of successful family planning. It is to beget children for complete perfection. Without being self-controlled, without being disciplined, and without being fully obedient, no one can become successful in following the instructions of the spiritual master. And without doing so, no one is able to go back to Godhead. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. So on this day of Ekadashi, let us meditate on these three aspects of being a good disciple. So Srila Prabhupada in the paper here says, without being self-controlled, are we self-controlled? Without being disciplined, are we disciplined? And without being fully obedient, are we fully obedient? Let us pose this question to ourselves for meditation. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day, and we'll continue with the discussion of this verse tomorrow. Happy Ekadashi. Jai Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, thank you.